This teacher catches students who are late to school every single day. Yet there is one student who always slips through the school gate at the exact last second. This was basically an insult to the teacher on duty. This time, the teacher made up his mind to catch Jack no matter what. As the class bell rang, the teacher quickly shut the school gate. At the same moment, Jack came charging over while holding a bamboo pole. Seeing the way Jack looked fully prepared, the teacher immediately realized that Jack planned to pole vault over the gate. It turned out that this man who loved showing off was named Jack. While others went to school on foot, he would stand at high places to scout the way ahead. When wiping the blackboard, he could flick chalk around like billiard balls. Even when being punished to stand in the hallway, he did it with style. However, the troublemakers in the class couldn't stand it anymore. They threw away his desk and waited to see him embarrass himself. When the girls saw that Jack had no desk, they all invited him to sit with them. This scene left everyone stunned, but Kevin did not give up. He seized the moment when Jack sat down and yanked the chair out from under him. Yet to everyone's shock, Jack casually sat down on thin air. Kevin was deeply shaken. At that moment, a giant bee flew in through the window. The girls were so frightened that they all ran outside, not forgetting to habitually close the door behind them. Since the bee only attacked black, moving objects, everyone immediately took off all their clothes. This caused the girls outside to scream non-stop. Kevin thought his chance had arrived. As long as he took down the bee, he would earn the right to choose a partner first. But in the next second, the bee flew straight past him, scaring him into stripping down to just his underwear. In an instant, Jack was the only one left in the classroom wearing a black uniform. Kevin was deeply moved. He never expected Jack to risk his own safety for everyone. Jack picked up the compass in his hand and began fighting the bee.
Mana beats.
The stunned crowd all turned their eyes toward Jack, yet Jack coolly and stylishly let the bee go. The girls all showered Jack with praise, while Kevin was mocked by the boys. In his heart, he thought this might also be a way to become popular, so he decided to take the comedic route from then on. From that day forward, Kevin never wore clothes again. Meanwhile, Jack had caught the attention of the school bullies. They planned to beat him up to vent their anger, so they threatened classmates into luring Jack to the chemistry lab. The moment Jack opened the door, they dragged him inside. Unexpectedly, the only exit was jammed shut with a wooden stick. The three of them surrounded Jack in the middle. Seeing that he was still completely calm, Mike became furious. He said he would punch Jack in the face 100 times first, but another friend suggested stripping Jack naked and taking photos to send to all the girls in the class. Hearing this, Jack finally showed a look of disgust toward human trash. Seeing that, Mike felt extremely pleased, but just as he was taking photos, something unexpected happened. The cigarette butt they had thrown away earlier ignited the chemical reagents. They tried to escape, only to find that the door wouldn't open at all. As the fire grew larger, they panicked endlessly. Seeing that Jack was still completely composed, they couldn't hold back anymore, and began angrily scolding him for still trying to look cool in such a situation. Jack, however, walked straight toward the source of the fire and told them to step back.
Repetition, side step.
When they saw Jack strangely moving left and right repeatedly, one of them immediately guessed that he was trying to create wine through violent side-to-side movement to extinguish the flames. But this guess was quickly rejected by Mike. Yet Jack showed not the slightest hesitation, which left them deeply shaken. Under that kind of belief, the flames actually seemed to weaken. So the three of them all stripped off their clothes and joined the side-to-side movement. Meanwhile, the noise upstairs caught the teacher's attention. The teacher rushed over to check and then saw four people making strange movements. After the fire was put out, Jack told the teacher that because they had caused a fire, they could only use this method to attract the teacher's attention. Only then did the three finally understand Jack's intention. But when the teacher asked about the reason for the other three, Jack looked left and right and said that he was teaching them chemistry. Hearing this, Kevin and the others finally breathed a sigh of relief. Back in the office, the teacher couldn't swallow this resentment. Every morning, Jack would arrive right on time and enter the school in different ways. This was absolutely humiliating him. So today, he had to catch Jack's mistake and openly teach him a lesson. At that moment, the teacher noticed something. Jack seemed to be plotting something with the troublemakers. The teacher gave a sinister smile. Seeing the smoke, he couldn't wait to punish Jack. The next day, he saw two students playing with brooms, and Jack happened to be nearby. Just as he was about to sternly scold Jack, a female student stopped him. It turned out that Jack was cleaning the ceiling everyone hated most. He perfectly avoided the falling dust. The stunned teacher failed to notice dust falling into his mouth. Back in the office, the teacher coughed non-stop. The next class was Jack's class. He was determined to find a chance to punish him, but soon, the teacher realized in despair that this was a male and female physiology class. Even the most mischievous troublemakers listened seriously. Jack was also quite serious, except that there was tableware laid out on his desk. Since Jack was still paying attention, the teacher couldn't punish him, but Jack actually pulled out a bowl of rice. The excited teacher snapped the chalk and turned around. With an evil expression, he finally got what he wanted, because Jack was about to eat the rice. At that moment, Jack stopped. Although the teacher felt confused, he thought it was normal since Jack had no side dishes. Soon after, he completely broke down upon realizing that Jack was treating his physiology class as a side dish. When the lecture stopped, Jack had no desire to eat. What blatant disrespect for a teacher. The teacher decided to play along and continue the lesson. Sure enough, Jack soon took a bite of rice. The teacher shouted for Jack to go stand in the hallway as punishment. As Jack stood up, he grabbed some rice and went out into the hallway. The teacher acted calm on the surface, but the moment he turned around, he couldn't hold it in anymore.
決まったくすっきり
Afraid that Jack might pull another stunt, he decided to go take a look. Then he saw Jack feeding rice to a dying sparrow. Only then did he understand Jack's intention. The teacher burst into tears and decided never to target Jack again.